Kline Galland's been around so long that the perceptions are so ingrained within the Seattle community that it's just a nursing home. And Kline Galland is so much more than that.
Services have expanded so significantly.
The Kline Galland community has expanded to accommodate the needs of the people of the community. It's wonderful.
My father had a very complex situation where he ended up injuring himself down in Aberdeen where medical care is limited, ended up being sent to Harborview for surgery. In today's world, they want you out of the hospitals as quickly as possible, and the transitional care unit has very much filled that void. It's a place where people that aren't well enough to go home have a safe landing.
As I've talked to people in the community, more and more are viewing it as a place where you go to overcome some problem that you have, and then you go home. I went to Kline Galland because I didn't want to go home with 4 sets of stairs to negotiate after bilateral knee replacement surgery.
We have the largest rehab facility in the state of Washington and partnered with several area hospitals, including Swedish, Valley, Virginia Mason, Overlay.
The work that we're doing in transitional care with our partner at Kline Galland is just a fantastic example of what we're all trying to do in healthcare: improve patient outcomes and do it in a more efficient manner.
Kline Galland is one of the top providers from the hospital's perspective because of the quality and the reputation.
I was born in Seattle in 1913. My wife and I came to the summit almost 4 years ago, and I couldn't visualize being in a better place.
When we moved to the summit, Mac would go for daycare at the Kline Galland. They did art, they baked, they watched movies. I knew that it was temporary. I began to notice big changes. My husband came to the Kline Galland exactly 2 years ago. For me to see the care and the love he gets is worth everything. Mac is happy. He's being treated like a mensch.
It wasn't long after my parents moved to the summit that it was clear that my dad was going to lose a leg. He had his surgery, he did his rehab at Kline, and he was so excited, you know, when he came back here. He got fitted with the prosthesis. All of this, you know, was done in the context and the framework of the support system here at Summit.
Sally and I both worked at a homeless shelter for senior men. When it was time for her to retire, we were really happy that she found the Summit because she had given so much in her life, and now it was time to be given back too. Over time, her health needs increased, her health was declining. We had to make that decision to go to the next step, to Kline Galland, where she could have more care.
My mom wasn't doing real well. She ended up in the hospital, in and out of emergency and in and out of rehab places. We were told, make preparations. She's not going to be here long. They released her to Kline Galland, and 3, 4, 5 days later, I got a phone call. She said she's doing too well to stay in the transitional care unit. She lived about 3 years at Kline Galland after that, when we expected a few weeks. That's what Kline Galland means to me.
One thing that brings me great comfort and excitement is when I look at the leadership of the organization today and their willingness to think creatively.
With baby boomers coming of age, the paradigm has shifted, and the average age of Kline Galland, believe it or not, has actually gotten younger because we're serving a whole new demographic.
I work in the community-based services area of Kline Galland. There are 4 services that we offer. Kline Galland Home Care, which is private duty caregiving services. Kline Galland Home Health, which is skilled nursing and therapy services that we take to individuals in their home. And about 5 years ago, Kline Galland recognized the need to be able to offer palliative care and hospice services.
There are only 2 organizations in town that offer the full variety of services that Kline Galland does. It's Kline Galland and Providence Health Services.
We actually did have the care kind of add on and build as time went on, both for my father and now for my mother. I know that she's being cared for very, very well.
Mother is now receiving the services of Kline Galland's amazing hospice program. From day one, these angels treated her with such skill and dignity and compassion and respect and love she so richly deserves.
Sally really experienced the full expanse of the Kline Galland services, from being very independent to the hospice part. And every step of the way, the staff, the nursing team, the social workers, everybody was with me to help me make that a comfortable transition for Sally. I know that my friend really received a place of grace, of being at home, of being comfortable, of being able to be at ease in that moment, that great moment of letting go.
I've never worked in an organization where that true commitment to quality service and quality care was so integral, so built into the fabric.
From nursing to home health to assisted living to independent living to hospice care. It's remarkable.
And I think evolved beyond what anyone imagined Kline Galland would be when we started back in 1914.
The organization now is probably as strong as it's ever been.
My hope is that Kline Galland becomes synonymous for a healthcare organization that provides the continuum of care, that can support individuals as they move through their phase of life with services to cover all of those different needs.
Kline Galland community should feel very proud about all the work that they've done.
For the 100-year anniversary, it's a time to look backwards, certainly, but it's also a time to look forward and celebrate all these services that we have and congratulate the community on creating such a beautiful institution.
This work's been going on for 100 years. You can tell. You know, you can tell. They know what they're doing.